Good morning, nerds, and welcome back to another episode of Tethered by the Table. My name is Nathan, and it's been the way pretty much my entire life.
Hi guys, and I'm Megan. As you can see, we're kind of in different spots than we've been in usually. But fun fact, for the first time ever in stream history, Nathan and I are not playing in different states. We are in one
Woo!
state, but different places.
Different places. And so the distance has decreased, but we are still playing virtually. But we are super excited to get into today's episode. If the coffee hasn't hit yet and you fall back asleep or you just can't stand to look at this, don't worry. The recordings of these sessions, as well as an audio-only version, will be posted on our YouTube channel the following Friday. And you can visit our channel by searching Tethered by the Table on YouTube or following the link in our bio. Or if you want to go to our Instagram, Tethered by the Table, you can follow us there too and see more of our content. And Megan, where are we right now? What's going on?
All right, well, I'm in my bedroom. I think you're in the laundry room or in the closet.
I'm in the laundry room.
But yeah, so basically where we left off, we finally, so my dentist and I have made it to Stormwatch Towers, where we have found that it is completely covered in spirits. I think the correct term, I cannot remember the correct term for them, but they're kind of
There's,
specters. Oh, right, because we were calling spectators.
yeah,
Specters. Yeah, so they're covered in specters. We're making our way slowly up. Um, and we just keep, the closer we get to the top, the more and more specters there are. Toll had a field day and became super shiny, a little disco ball. He was loving that.
yeah,
Helped us get to the top. Well, I'm not even sure if we're at the top. Oh, no, we're not. And then Dentith went sailing through the skies. If you want to see an old man fly, be sure to check out our last stream.
yeah.
And then we left off at one of the levels, and there were more specters than usual.
Yes,
And I think, yeah,
that
that
sounds
was
well. I think that was pretty good. I mean, I don't think you missed anything. Everything, yeah, seems about right. Lots of specters in the Stormwatch towers, and you're just kind of progressing through the different floors, trying to get to the very top, of course, and figure out what is causing all this disturbance with the dead here. And so, I'm going to shift over now to the virtual tabletop here. I'm going to slide that, and I'm going to make sure that I can get all of my stuff prepared. So, um, Megan, if you want to look at the virtual tabletop and get an idea of where we are, if
yes.
you're looking here, we have Marlow, Toll, and Dentith all at the top of the stairs, while a bunch of specters are in this large room.
And fun fact, you guys, Nathan did not think that Dentith was going to make it this long. So he
Hey,
thought he was going to be killed off.
I was
So,
preparing for the worst.
okay. Yes, so we stopped here. So question, are I don't we found out that Tolkien telepathically do magic. Um, I was curious on when, like, does that end when he finally does it? Like he does the spell and then he can't do it anymore? Or is it when I cast a new spell, like his spell kind of dissipates?
I would interpret it like um, that ultimately the spell really will he is a conduit of the spell, and therefore, whenever you are focusing on it, he is focusing on it. And
Okay.
whenever like you begin to do other things, or if you kind of like stop the spell, then
Mm.
it would stop whatever he's doing.
Okay. I was just curious. So in case you were wondering, Cole is kind of pitiful back there because as soon as I cast jump on Dentith, it went away. So he's not shining anymore in the backpack.
Correct.
Yes, okay.
He's now sad. He is now very sad.
All right. So I'm going. So we're sneaking. Um,
Yes.
I'm gonna want to. try to go and open this window.
Perfect. Okay. So in that case, then you are moving kind of like this here. Are you seeing what I'm looking at?
Yeah.
You're gonna open
Do you
up
see
this
what
window
I'm
here.
doing? Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I see what you're doing. Yeah, I see what you're doing. You're gonna slide over there. Perfect. And so, once you get to this window, you can kind of see that there are like large wooden shutters that are pressed closed, with a little bit of like sunlight kind of creeping out on all the edges and the rough kind of wood. And so you're able to just grab the handles and open the windows, and all of a sudden the floor is flooded with daylight from the outside because you arrived here somewhat in the morning. Um, Daylight floods the entire floor, and I need to make that known. So as sunlight, and I've realized now that with my new setup in the laundry room, things aren't going like I want them to. And so I'm just trying to make a little bit of adjustments here. But as the window is flooded with sunlight, all of a sudden the spectators here begin to they immediately kind of shriek as the sunlight strikes the kind of ghostly visage, and they shriek and begin to run out of the daylight range. Now I understand that there's only a doorway here, and so you have to kind of pretend like this little overlay is kind of accurate here, but just for the sake of me using this,
Oh,
we're just gonna
yeah.
pretend that the entire overlay is where the sunlight is, even though theoretically it wouldn't be shining behind these walls. But the spectators lickety split out of the sun rays, and um, now the room is kind of still again. And so the environment has reacted to your movements. What are you? And Dentita now is kind of looking around and is like, with all of these ghosts that are in this room, and he's kind of like what's going on? What's the plan?
Yeah, so I'm gonna come over here. I'm like, hey, Dentith, so new plan. I know we've been jumping and distracting a lot, uh, but with all these specters, we're gonna try to open these windows because we've noticed, that they stay away from light. And honestly, I thought they were all, I know they're friendly, but they hurt you and they were trying to hurt us, so I want to keep us safe. So we're gonna try to open doors and try to push them away from us instead. Does that
And
make sense?
he nods. He's like, okay, so in that case, then I'll just follow you as we do things.
Yeah, that's good. Oh,
Perfect. Oh, don't move my overlay.
so I apologize. I'm trying to move
No
my
worries.
little toe over there.
Yeah.
He's like way in there.
And so,
Oh, I can't
as
move myself.
oh
Oh,
no,
there
is it
I am. Okay,
okay?
there.
Perfect.
Okay.
Cool. Go somewhere. Go somewhere, Toll. Okay. And so, at this point now, the specters are kind of beginning to be flustered a little bit, and you can kind of tell they're now aware that there's kind of somebody up here, opening windows, of course, and causing sunlight to come in. And so they begin to kind of their movements aren't necessarily changed, but they become a little bit more erratic-ish. Not necessarily like they're starting like running around, but their movements are now kind of conscious of you being here, whether but not necessarily aggressive or anything. And so, what are you looking for Dentith to do?
I want Dentith to just kind of follow me.
Okay, excellent. And
So
so
yeah,
Dentith will
Dentith,
kind of
stay close.
walk over to you. And now that you have this window open, are you just going to be trying to navigate over to the window towards the north?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I'm
Mm,
gonna shift.
yeah.
Oh, I see. I moved the overlay now. Dang it. I'm gonna shift the camera over here. Okay, now there is a specter between you and the new window. Are you looking
There
to
is.
sneak by, or are you trying to? How are you gonna handle
Well,
this specter right here?
right. Mm. I pulled tool out of my backpack.
Oh shoot, yeah, yeah.
Uh, Hey, buddy. So you see that window over there? I really need you to go over there and try to open it so we can get through there, okay? And I'm gonna hope that he listens, and I'm gonna
Just
launch
throw
him.
him.
I'm gonna launch him up onto the bookshelf. I think that
Oh, I
is,
see.
or a
Yeah,
locker room.
yeah.
Like, okay, I'm gonna put you up there. And I'm gonna throw him up there and hope that he goes towards that window.
Okay. Oh yeah. So he begins to like run across the top of the lockers, and he's going to kind of do a little. If you want to kind of control what you want him to do, he'll do a little jump over the specter and head for the window. But when he gets to the windows are rather large. I mean they're kind of already big enough for a human to be manipulating. And so I want you to roll a strength check as told to see if you can open if he can open up the window by himself. See, I can't just let you do it. I feel like I haven't been
No,
giving
yeah,
you enough
that's good.
rolls.
Out of out of all his stats, okay. uh, it makes sense. He's just a little guy.
Like
All
you're so
right.
torn on whether or not you're upset or not.
That was a natural 20.
No way.
Yeah.
Well, will you show it to me on the camera? Because you've moved it. But it is a nice looking natural 20. No, okay, so I mean, if he not a natural 20, he what happens is that he runs across the top of the lockers, jumps over the specter, and kind of as he's coming down, he grabs onto the handle and uses his body weight to kind of swing the doors open, and this light path opens up, and this kind of hallway is flooded with light, which pushes the specters out of the way, meaning that
Oh,
this
but he's
specter
still there.
comes running over this way. And kind of is it kind of gets over to where there's more light and everything, and you can tell it's a visage of kind of a younger kind of like maybe like teenage boy who's kind of like walking and begins to like kind of walk away in a huff, but immediately realizes that there's light in front of him, and it's kind of like he's not really seeing you, but it's almost as if like the light is like a wall in front of him. He begins
Mm.
to kind of like look around and is a little bit questioned on where he goes at this point. Now I'm gonna have the environment react. This specter's gonna kind of fly over here, and I make sure that this specter flies over here, and this specter kind of some of these things just begin to kind of move away, and they're fluid and moving, and just doing their kind of their own thing a lot. A lot of them are just kind of doing their own thing, and uh, all right, the environment has reacted to your actions. What are you looking to do now?
Okay. Hmm. All right. Well, I don't want to yell over to Toll
Mhm.
while the specter's there, so I'm going to um, telepathically communicate with him
Okay.
and tell him, "Good job, buddy. Okay, now I need you to open up the other one. That's that that's on the other side. So keep going. Jump on the lockers and try to do the exact same thing you did."
Okay. And so, while Toll is going to control Toll, what's his? Oh, I mean, he can fly. What's his flying speed?
His flying speed is
It's
60
60
feet.
feet. So you can control him to 60 feet. Um,
Oh, that's
show
okay.
how he wants to, how you're having him go, and make sure that we can get to that other window within 60 feet. I'm pretty sure that's plenty of space.
So this is 40.
And then 50 into that little square right there. Yeah,
Yeah. Mhm. Oh, and then do you want me to do another strength check?
you bet I do. Let's see
All
if you can
right.
have the good luck twice.
Oh no, let's see. It's like, do I use the same D20 or do I'll see.
Can lightning strike twice?
Yes. Okay, that was a 15, but he has a -2,
Ooh.
so a 13.
13. And so he's flapping with his wings. Are his wings just kind of curiosity, are his wings proportionate to his body, or is it like little tiny? 'Cause you no, you mentioned like Heimlich from Bug's Life, right?
Yeah,
That he has little tiny wings.
yeah, he's still growing. He's still trying. they're still trying to grow. He's a little baby.
He's a little baby. Okay.
So,
And that he said
so
his
they're
little tiny
tiny.
wings start like flapping and everything and like lifting him up and like his whole body like it's like it like lifts his back up and he's as if he's being like carried by his spine um over and he lands kind of he flies over and lands onto the handle of the window there, but it's not enough to actually get the window open. And so you see him kind of well, I guess you really can't see him, but he if you were looking through his senses and seeing his eyes, you can see him kind of like tugging and pulling on this window here and trying to get the window open.
Cute.
Now the specter. Now I'm going to have the environment react here. Specters are kind of just like flying around here, doing their thing. This guy kind of moves back over this way. But as you are kind of just sitting here around the corner, I mean, Toll has kind of left your view. You're
Mhm.
standing in the sunlight. You begin to kind of see a sort of it what kind of starts as like a little you think you see something like the corner of your eye, which is strange because like all these ghosts are kind of like that weird like translucent visage thing here, but there you can tell that all of a sudden you realize that there may be something else up here. And there is a candelabra like on like a stand and everything like like the like on the stands
Mhm.
where it has like little like
Mhm.
it begins to kind of like hover up into the air and kind of float over to the window where this window is here. And actually, all of a sudden, there you see almost kind of a ghostly image of almost like the candelabra like floats over to the window, and then like a ghostly hand shoots out and closes the window behind you. And all of a sudden, you're wherever you are, it's plunged in darkness again and this poltergeist then kind of almost like the candelabra like falls down as if like whatever was possessing it is no longer there and he disappears. But
What the
as the
heck?
hallway is plunged back into darkness, the specters begin to kind of this dude who is looking for a way out from the direct sunlight behind him begins to move kind of a little closer here, and the specters begin to float kind of in the general direction as they hear kind of the noise of the candelabra dropped on the floor. And oh shoot, the environment has reacted to your movements.
Cool. All right. Edith, Edith, I need you to open that window.
And Jen's like, did you just see what I just saw? There was like like a something came out of
Yeah,
that thing over there.
yeah, yeah. I don't think we just have specters to worry about right now.
And Jen just
There's
runs
definitely
over
something else here.
into the runs over and he begins to kind of mess with the door. However, like you can tell like as he's like pulling with much more strength than what it took initially to open the door, he begins to pull on the shutters and the shutters aren't opening for him. He's like, "Ah, I got it. I got just give me a second. Give me a second." And I mean, he's like a little bit of an older man.
Well,
He's straining
yeah.
himself a little bit as he begins to try to tug on the window.
Okay. I'm like, screw it, screw it. We're not doing this.
Like, no, I didn't sign up for this.
We're going. Change of plans, Dented. We're going back to the original plan. Come over here. You're jumping.
we're, we're flying.
Are you prepared to jump for your country? Okay.
And
Uh,
so, are you casting jump on Dentist?
as I'm casting jump, screw,
You- What did
screw
we
all
decide
that.
last time that he could jump? Because I'm trying to remember the jump rules that we had discussed. I think it was. Oh, geez,
Um.
huh?
Okay. It was a lot more complicated than we originally thought. But it was like
Let's see.
something times three or something. Like his strength
Mm-hmm.
stat, but then he's also dashing.
I know.
So
So long jump. If we take a long jump here is the you can leap horizontally a number of feet to your strength score if you've moved at least 10 feet immediately before the jump. So, oh yeah, and then we discovered then it was the we look at dentists. Hey, come on, don't do this to me. What the heck? It's not letting me click on them. There we go. why isn't this working like I like it to? Great. My stuff's all glitching out now. Hold on one second. We're gonna get this. We're gonna
Beautiful.
get this. I just need to look at the veteran stats.
While he's doing that, just if any of you guys are curious, after we stopped streaming last week, Nathan goes over and he asks me, "Hey, you know you can open the windows, right?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, like totally. I knew we could open those. I just decided to go a different route." And
Yeah, you
so
just
the
wanted to
to
be creative.
and so here we are. I'm like, "Okay, yeah, let me try to open up some windows." And then he throws this at
I
me.
throw- Yeah, I was so
Throws
disappointed that you weren't falling into my traps. I was like, you gotta learn how to open the windows. Okay, his strength modifier score is no, his strength score is 16. And then yes, we discussed that with jump, it
Mhm.
triples his jump distance. Correct.
And then
And
if he's
which
to like to dash, right? Well, no, if he's to like run, if he's to do a standing jump, it's not as much as if he were to do a running jump, right?
yes, because if he just does a where is it? Where is it? Jumping. Oh no, if he does a standing jump, where's I just saw it a second ago. Oh, hold on, I was just reading something else. Okay, so yes, I think it was the I don't know. I don't know why I can't find what I was looking at before, but we're gonna just go for long jump. If he's sprinting beforehand, it is the number of feet that you move at least 10 feet away. Hold on. You leap a number of feet up to your score strength or your strength score. So that's 16. He can only jump at 16 feet. If you're casting jump on him, that's times three, which is the 16 or 16 times three. Oh, gee, calculator.
Okay, let's just 16 times 3 is 48.
48. He can jump 48 feet, and so that's on top of how much he wants to sprint here. And so, if we're just looking, I have a feeling that you're trying to get to this staircase down here. Um, where he is
I
standing
was,
right now, next to the window, he is 80 feet from the doorway, or I guess 70, 75 feet from the doorway
right.
into spot number three, which means that if he, let's see, 48 feet would get him. He needs to make it to that first, like that bed in the doorway here. Let me see if I can do my little pointer.
In order to make it
He needs to sprint there
to
in
the.
order to jump all the way over to the doorway and get things going.
All right. Well, that's what we're gonna do. I'm like,
Perfect.
okay, did this. Forget about it. Forget about it. You're
So
jumping.
what do I gotta do? And like as he's like, what do I need to do? He like the magic kind of like enforces
Yes.
like infuses around his body, and he's like, oh
And I
no,
just
not the jump again. And he's like,
wait.
okay,
I thought you liked this. You gotta like it. You gotta like it for it to work.
you gotta
Are
believe.
you
Clap if you
are you
believe.
willing? Are you willing?
And he's like, yeah, yeah, I'm willing, I'm willing. And
Okay.
he and so he sprints. He's gonna sprint all the way to here. How do you do this here? He sprints all the way here, and then he's going to jump the 48 feet across the entire across the entire room and make it to the doorway. And he sticks the landing, and he kind of like looks back. And he's like, we're good, we're good. We did it." And he's gonna kind of like duck around the corner here. But now you are still here in the room. What do you plan on doing?
I am still here. All right. I am gonna cast jump on myself. I
Okay.
am going to make a standing jump over the specter to go in. Oh, let me get my pointer out.
Yeah, yeah.
Over this specter to jump over here.
Perfect. So, okay. And yeah, I mean, seems simple enough. If you're just gonna to jump over there, what's your
Yeah.
strength score? Just kind of curious.
Um,
It was 11, wasn't it? It sound 11 seems
I
familiar
think
to
it
me.
is 11. Let me. Oh, it's all different when I just have the one screen. Let's see. Ability saves and throws.
I'm taking a
Not
look at
ability
your.
saves. Oh, it is 11. Yep.
Okay, excellent. So you were able to clear with ease this specter here and move over to towards the top window. And if you want to adjust your
Okay,
character where you're
so
trying to like
that's
land.
22. So 5, 10, 15, 20, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
I
I think
guess
so.
it'd be longer, but I figured I couldn't really see
Yeah.
here, so I'm just gonna
And
land
also I feel
there.
like you can't like jump around a corner like that unless you
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
hand sprung off of the locker and then like change your no, I won't let you do that. But so you're above here, and I'm gonna have the environment react real quick. And so the now that this window is closed, the specter begins to kind of walk this way, right where you were. The specters kind of begin to head over in this general area. Even these guys are kind of moving a little bit. And maybe this one is kind of curious about what the noise of the footfall of Dentith was, and we call it good. So, um, the environment has reacted. Now, are you just trying to get to Toll first so you can kind of regroup, or what is your intentions here?
Yeah. Well, should I even tell you? Or you can no. Yes, my
I didn't realize how
intentions
much I
are
would offended you with with the poltergeist, so
no,
I
you're
apologize.
good.
Okay, continue.
No, of course not. Oh, I am, yes, I'm trying to come this way because Dentith can sail.
Mhm.
He's flying. His strength score is a lot better than mine for being an old man.
Yeah,
Um, I, my strength score, oh, sorry, little
hey,
specter. My,
Spectre
he
goes.
just goes flying.
Yeah.
Mine is 11, so I didn't want to be stuck in the room. So I'm just running over here
Okay.
to get told and maybe open up this window
Oh, I dig it.
so we can work with a little something. So I don't want to dash because I don't want people coming over towards me.
Mhm.
So I'm just making my way. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
And
And that
do you
is,
want Toll? I guess I should have been giving you this option the entire time, but do you want to re-roll for Toll to see if with him still working on this door?
for sure,
If
because
he's able, I
he's
guess he
just
could have been doing
going.
this. He tried once and he's like, you know, it's too hard. Maybe there's something
You know,
around here that he can loot.
oh, poor buddy.
Oh no,
That was a 2 minus 2. That's a 0.
0. I mean, he's tugging and pulling. He's trying to get these windows open, but this one just isn't as this one just isn't opening just like the last one did. He was able to kind of in a fit of strength open up the previous window, and this one it's just not going so well, and he's waiting for you. Um, which
I
means
could,
the in oh sorry, continue.
also, I was just gonna say, I could see him, like, he tried once and he was like, oh, this is a little too hard. And so he's like passively trying, but he's like looking around, like,
Like maybe the
what,
yeah
maybe looking for something that catches his eye, but also like kind of like seeing when I'm gonna show up. And then he's
yeah.
really gonna act like, oh, yeah, I've been trying this whole
I've been trying
time,
this
you
entire
know?
time. Yeah. So the specters begin to kind of move around. They're just floating around. I mean, it's just they haven't really they're not really like actively hunting you or they suspect that really anything is going on here, and so they are just kind of chilling around. Um, and one specter might be kind of flying over here. Dentith is doing a good job of hiding down here and making sure that nobody is seeing him. Um, and all of a sudden, a candelabra again begins
Oh
to
my
kind of kind of shivers almost as something kind of possesses it, and it lifts up and floats on over to this window over here that you had just passed, and a hand and pair of hands, kind of a pair of ghostly hands, jettison from the candelabra stand and slam this window closed, and ultimately this hallway that you were just in plunges back into darkness, and the poltergeist you kind of hear like a ghostly giggle as
Oh,
the
sure.
candelabra drops again, no longer possessed by any sort of poltergeist, and the hallway is dark again. So the environment has reacted. What are you looking to do?
I'm coming this way. 5, 10, 15, 20.
And now Toll is making it known that he's been working hard.
I was like, oh, buddy. Um,
Like, oh, you must
uh,
be this one must be really stuck if you've been trying this whole time.
and I'm gonna try to open the window.
Okay. And I mean, you are able to since you are not a pseudo dragon and you are just a regular sized human, you are able to open the window with relative ease. Though the hinges are a little squeaky, and the hallway is flooded in light as suddenly this window is reveals the daylight's glory. And I'm gonna have the environment react real quick as all of a sudden all of these ghosts who are in the sunlight here begin to shriek as if like something is piercing them, and they begin to run outside of the light here, and so they're going to all quote unquote book it out of here. No, I don't mean to lock that.
Oh my heck.
And there we go. So we're gonna have that move there, that move there. All right, so now you are standing in a hallway
Mm.
full of light, and you are able to the ghosts are beginning to move around and get things taken care of. So what's happening?
Okay. Um, jump is a bonus action, we've decided.
Hmm.
It's not
Because
listed
we
on
love
our
our bonus
actions.
actions.
Yes. Yes, everyone use your bonus actions. They were
Use
created
your
for a
bonus
reason,
actions. Mm.
regardless of what people say.
Regardless of what the creator says.
Yes, regardless of what he specifically said. All
Art is no
right.
longer yours once you give it out, put it out into the world. We can use bonus actions how we like.
All right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm picking up Toll. I'm like,
Hmm.
"Hey, good job, buddy. And then put it in my pocket. And then I'm dashing.
Okay.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I am going to jump
The jump. Okay. Through the
over the
doorway.
specter.
Through the
Yeah.
specter. Okay.
Hmm.
And you will jump 11 feet, which would be just two of those squares and a little bit extra.
I
Or if
want to
you
move
want to run,
here.
yeah, you're gonna run all the way down there and then you'll jump.
And then I'll jump. I'm gonna
All right.
sail.
Excellent. And so, as you I mean, the Spectre's still like a regular sized person, and so like when you jump, you're still kind of jumping through the Spectre, and it's kind of like jumping almost through like a cold shower, but without the sensation of being wet. And you jump through the Spectre, and the Spectre kind of looks confused a little bit as like all of a sudden something has passed through it, as if it's not aware of its surroundings, as you view them. And you're able to make it past the Spectre. And Dentith kind of once you see that you're over here, goes, "Oh, thank goodness. I think we did it. I think we passed through."
Yeah, good. The way
You
that you said this, no, it's just like, I think we did. I think we passed through.
I think we've made
Uh,
it.
yeah, I'm
Time
like,
to drop our guard. Time to not worry
interesting.
about anything.
Says the NPC created by the DM.
Don't you love how I've
Okay.
created this false sense of trust, even though I am the mastermind behind all of it, anyways. Okay, but never
Right, I'm
mind
like,
that.
yeah. Okay, let's get out of here. I think I've had enough of specters and the undead at this point. Hopefully, we don't find any more while we go upstairs.
Perfect. So in that case, then I'm going to pause the virtual tabletop as we navigate now to Stormwatch Towers floor 5, and we're going to progress there. Oh, that's not what I was looking for. I am operating on a significantly less amount of, I guess not a significantly less monitors. I'm missing one, and apparently it's enough to screw up my entire game here. So
Oh, you're good.
we are going to navigate. Oh yeah, and then I have to make sure that Dent is still here because he is still not dead. I gotta give you pull.
Yeah, I'm like, does that like he didn't think he was alive? Does that show more on what you think of Dentith, or does that show more of what you think of Marlow? That
It had
Marlow would
nothing to do with any of that. I just
just straight
making
up
sure,
leave.
just in case something were to happen, I didn't want a bad memory of him being there. And I'd be like, oh, sorry about that. This guy's no longer here.
Yoink.
Pick him off the off the board like a chess piece. Okay. Now we are going to on the right side. You are correct. There are no more specters. I just want to make sure that
What
you're seeing
the
what I'm seeing, right?
hell
Yeah.
are those?
I mean, yeah, you're seeing what I'm seeing, right? So as you, this next floor now is the very top floor of Stonewatch Towers, and at this point, I mean, this is the roof, the sky is above you, broad daylight, and as you enter, you hear just commotion and kind of the unsettling kind of noises and ambiance of the undead. As you kind of walk up the stairs, you see just zombies kind of like sitting there like twitching and just kind of wandering around with seemingly with no purpose. Skeletons that are kind of rising from the ground as if like piles of bones are now getting animated into corpses again. I mean, most significantly, there is a rather large zombie in the form of an ogre who is kind of just sitting there like, scratching himself, almost kind of like mindless, as he's just kind of sitting there staring off into space. But most importantly, you see somewhere over here. Where's my pointer? In somewhat the center of the floor, you see a man who is bound kind of by his hands and his ankles, surrounded by three ghouls, which you've seen before because they were the one that a ghoul attacked you at the Nearless. And
Mhm.
so three ghouls are kind of hungrily like kind of poking and prodding and kind of grabbing and yanking this man who's in the middle here. While there is one man who is near kind of this kind of makeshift altar, and he's kind of busy looking into a book, his hands kind of surrounded by this kind of green mist almost as he's um, speaking incantations and the dead around him, that these piles of bones are stirring with each word that he says. And you have a slight element of surprise here. It seems like nothing has really noticed you on the rooftop here. What are you looking to do?
So the guy, he's just messing with something on the table. Like he's doing incantations. Can I understand what he's saying?
It is all in Elvish, and you don't necessarily speak
Oh, okay.
Elvish, and so
No.
you know he's saying something, and it sounds mysterious and spooky, but you don't really know what it is.
Okay. Um, Dentith, do you by chance this isn't normal, right? You guys don't do this.
What would you do at work here? And Dentist looks terrified at this point. He's like, "This, this is perverse. I've never seen anything like this. I don't know what's happening here."
Do you recognize that guy over there?
And he kind of he looks over at the altar, and really you only see the back of his head, but he kind of looks and goes, "No, I have no clue who that is." But I mean,
Okay.
there amongst the ghouls, that's the head enforcer. That's Tannic.
Okay. Well, it looks like we got our work cut out for us, Dentith. Okay, and I'm looking around and I see I'm I'm going to pull out. So, Dentith, right now I think we're kind of outnumbered. Let's just kind of
Kind
hide
of
back
outnumbered.
here. Let's just hide back here. I'm trying to think of a plan. And then he's like, okay. And then he goes,
Okay.
oh, I
So
spoke for you. So,
yes, I didn't even realize I was able to do it. Um,
yeah.
and so are you guys just kind of sinking in the darkness? Just want to make sure, like, just monitor things for a little bit and see where
Yeah,
things
I'm
are.
I'm kind of I'm wanting to keep an eye out, but I'm not wanting to because it's not just my life, it's Dentith,
Hmm.
and so I'm like trying to hold back a little bit. hide while I gather my thoughts, and I'm gonna be rummaging through my backpack, and I'm going to be looking for the wine goblet that I took from
Okay.
Dr. Nicholas Jecka,
Interesting. I like where this is
um,
going.
the one that was like cured, like the undead, like
Oh yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah. The cure, or
Yeah,
the salve of undead slowing.
this, yeah, undead slowing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I ruin your plan?
No, I'm gonna do. Oh gosh, I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna unwrap it.
Hmm.
Unwrap my silk robe. So I now got that back.
And while he's doing that, and while you're doing that, Dento kind of looks over and goes, "All the time that we should be indulging in wine."
You're totally right. I would not recommend drinking this. And I'm going to try to stay hidden while I chuck this at not the ogre zombie, but the smaller zombie beside him.
Beside him. Okay. Okay.
Like, oh,
I
let
mean,
me ping
yeah.
that
Oh, I
one.
dig it. Perfect. So you are going to attempt here. Now, before I begin, I'm going to have, if you're trying to stay kind of close to the side, I want you to roll a stealth check just to make sure that you can stay hidden while
Oh
you
boy.
are throwing this goblin thing. So go ahead and roll a stealth check and see if you stay hidden.
I feel like I feel like this is such a big moment. I need to do good. I need the natural 20 right now. Let's see.
You already used it for Toll in the opening the
I
window, so
know,
I don't know if you're
I
gonna get another one.
know, I know. It's like, but okay. Oh my hell. That was a 4.
Four.
Yeah.
So as you are kind of telling, as you're kind of telling the story, and I'll have Reventus roll just for fun. I'll have Denver roll just for fun. Let's see.
Let's see if he stays hidden.
Yeah, to see if he stays hidden. He rolled a 17. So Dentith is staying hidden. But
Okay.
as you are kind of moving things around, um, when you're speaking to Dentith, you kind of turn towards the zombie with the goblet in your hand, and some
Mhm.
rocks and kind of loose gravel beneath you, kind of crunch as you turn over, and all of a sudden, some of the creatures around you begin to kind of perk up and almost like look in your general direction, but not still unsure on where you are as as in like your location. So, um, however, during this time, the man behind the altar kind of closes his book and begins to turn around and begins to look at Tannic, and almost like he closes the book at the same time that you make like your little noise, and so he doesn't recognize that anyone is with him, but he closes the book and he kind of begins to walk over to Tannic here, who is surrounded by these ghouls. And he's kind of like, and he goes over to Tannic and he's like, well, I hope these conditions are suitable for a head enforcer like you, Tannic. And Tannic is kind of saying, he's like, I don't know what this is about. I, I just want to be released. There's no reason I need to be here. And the necromancer kind of looks and goes, no, you know exactly why you're here. You know exactly what you've done. And I'm gonna make sure that you pay the price for it. But of course, I can't sick my dogs on you yet until the main event comes. And so you are gonna have to be patient, Tannic. But I'm unfortunately looking for someone other than you, which might come as a shock. Someone who's always reveled in the attention that he received from everyone around him. I'm not looking for you. I'm looking for someone else. And he begins to kind of pace almost like he's waiting for something to happen. And now we're back with you, with I'd say maybe the ogre zombie as well as here I can ping it here. The ogre zombie as well as probably this zombie, this skeleton, and this zombie here are aware that something might be on the rooftop, but haven't really moved. But they're kind of looking in your general direction.
Okay. Well, let me get my stuff up.
Let me know when you want to roll for initiative.
Uh, yeah. Okay. All right. Well, to do. I'm checking it.
You're
I'm,
checking it?
I'm-
Okay.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, okay. Okay. I have it. There's two other potions that I took from him. What? Well, there's three. The first one was to make him
Yeah, pull up my notes here.
unparalyzed.
You're recalling some old information. Yes.
And the other two, I think one of them was like a reddish. I think it was gray, red, and green. Can't remember exactly. But that one was to help him be unparalyzed. The other two, can't remember what they were. Okay. Well, to keep things moving, I'm going to stick with my original thing and I'm going to try to check it at the zombie to see if what
Okay.
happens.
Okay. So, I want you to do a strength check to hit the zombie. So you're gonna be trying to meet his AC, and go from there.
Okay. That's a 19.
Heck yeah. So I mean, you you put this everything over your shoulder, huck it over, and the goblet, full of the salve and everything hits the zombie kind of square on the back and everything, the salve kind of spreading all over his body, and the zombie kind of shrieks all of a sudden as it realizes that it's been hit by a foreign object. And the salve almost like you almost kind of see like a bubbling really, like where it kind of where it's hit the zombie, and the zombie begins to shriek as the skin around it begins to, like the whole entire body is covered in like this necrotic skin that's falling apart and decomposing. But wherever the salve has touched, it's not necessarily like heals, but at least kind of returns the skin to a more like flesh tone, where it seems to be kind of um, either stopping the active decomposition of the zombie's body, or at least it's kind of at least slowing the process of this like rapid decomposition that the zombie was currently going through. And as it was kind of hit and everything, it runs, it moves kind of away from whatever the sensation was that hurt it, and so it kind of like takes a couple steps forward, away from you. And the rest of the creatures around now all of a sudden are looking at the zombie instead, about where this where the zombie was hit. And so everyone's attention kind of is moving over to the zombie, including this man here, the necromancer, kind of looks over at the zombie who's now kind of shrieked in pain here, and he kind of is looking and begins to almost like do like a mental like checklist of like have I. You kind of just see his like mind working as he sees the zombie as freaked out. Now, is there anything that you're looking to do kind of in this moment of surprise?
Paranoia. Um, I should, oh, I should have thought about that. Check it. He ran. Oh, okay. I'll be quick and see if I want to do anything. Um, okay, what did we decide? 5, 10. Okay, I have an idea in my head.
Mhm.
Okay, but I can't do it. I don't think I can't do it right
Shoot. Okay.
now. So, okay, I'll tell you. At some point, I want to dash
Mhm.
across, cast jump on myself, and land where Tannic is,
Where panic is. Okay.
in between. Yeah. And at some point, I will be casting Thunder Wave
Ooh.
while I'm in the
That,
middle.
hey, that'd be interesting. Now, now that you've told me this, what do you want to do about it? Do you want to try it or?
Okay, well, if you're going to allow me to try to
Yeah.
do all of that in one turn, I will do that.
The Thunder Wave might not be able to be in the one turn, but you could definitely cast jump and get in there potentially. Hold on, let's measure this out. So you'd be able to jump 33 feet if you use the jump, which means that if this was So, I mean, realistically, the ogre zombie is like 33 feet from Tannic. And so if you like sprinted by the ogre zombie and then jumped over to Tannic, you could get into the circle here.
Okay. Okay.
And are you going to be so
And
daring as to
is
jump
that
over where
using
Tannic is?
is that using dash or is it not using dash?
Let's see. You are you're about 30 feet away from the ogre zombie. And so if we're assuming that jumping has nothing to do with your movement speed, then I'd say you could just run over, like not necessarily dash, but you could move over to the
Okay.
ogre zombie and then use jump. Because I guess the jump would be an act. No, I know you can do it at will, but I'm pretty sure it's still an action to cast jump on yourself. Then you would move. So you'd cast jump on yourself, which is the action.
Right.
You'd move and then bonus action jump. Well, I guess I don't really know if a jump is a bonus action,
Oh,
but it's definitely not an
jump.
action,
Yeah. Oh
right?
yeah,
I
jump
don't remember seeing it
bonus
for.
action. But when I click on the spell, it says it's a bonus action.
Oh, it
But
does.
then I'd be using what's on the into that.
And it's just
I
when I
don't know.
see
But then
jump, it
then
doesn't say anything about it being an action or a bonus action. And so I'd like to just think you could rope it in with movement. Either way, either way, I would allow you to cast jump on yourself, walk over to the ogre zombie, and
you're welcome over.
and then casually stroll over towards the behemoth, and then use your jump spell to get into where Tannic is.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay,
I was
all
just
right.
trying to see if I could squeeze out
The thunder
this
wave at the same time.
and yeah.
So, so I mean,
So
you
I'm gonna turn back to Dentith and I'll be like, I'll be right back. And
which has to be the most terrifying phrase that Denton could hear right now is I'll be right back. As he walks towards you, just leave your cover and begin to walk her over.
oh, I'm okay. And just I'm not walking. I'm running.
Yeah.
Just okay. And then
And then you
leap.
jump and you sail all through and you land right next to Tannic. And of course, the ghouls all of a sudden, oh, and then Toll comes, yeah. The ghouls um, immediately react to all of a sudden a third person here, and they begin to almost like jump around as I would imagine like monkeys jumping around like with like their hands like on like the floor and like doing like all sorts of like almost like gorillas that they would be
Yeah.
freaking out like they're just kind of very like they're very hands and feet type of people. They're just weirdos like that. And they start kind of
Okay.
jumping around and doing things as all of a sudden the necromancer becomes like shocked that there is another person here. And he goes, what is this? Who are you?
And then I cast Thunder Wave. I don't say anything.
Silence, and then you're just like Thunderwave, whatever the verbal component is for Thunderwave. Okay, so for Thunderwave, the what's the details here? What is the details?
So
I'm pulling
it's
it
a
up.
wave of thunderous energy. Each creature in a 15-foot cube originating from me makes a constitution saving throw.
That is such a
So,
strange. Why a cube? You feel like it'd be like a circle or something. But let's
yeah.
see.
I guess
We
it
do the
works for me
overlay.
because I'm in a all of your maps are in cubes.
I guess so. Okay, you said 15-foot cube originating from you.
And I'm like right under Tannic, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Heck yeah.
So I would assume from me, I don't I feel like he's on the ground. I'm like above him. I'm like
Mhm.
I'm standing over him.
Definitely. So, I mean, if you're saying spare Tannic from the Thunder Wave, I'm okay with that. And so, um, this little cube here, and you know what? I'll throw you a bone here. The Necromancer will also be within the circle. Um, that way you can kind of hit everybody here. Oh, 1 second. I'm looking at things. Okay. So this is what was the DC for the spell?
The DC.
The
Okay, they
14
need. Yeah.
Constitution. Okay. So each one of these ghouls is going to start making some Constitution saving throws. Ooh, and they have a +0 to their saving throw. So let's hope that that does something.
Let me get my two D8s going because I'm feeling lucky.
So and then they're pushed how far? Is this push 10
10
feet away from you?
feet.
So, ghoul number one, the one at the very top, rolled a 10, which means that he gets pushed back 10 feet. 5, 10. We have ghoul number two here, who's going to, um, whoa, he rolled a natural 20, so he's not going
Oh,
anywhere.
cool. All right.
But the third zombie here rolled an 11, which means he gets pushed back 10 feet as well. Boom. And then, of course, the necromancer here. He is going to. Oh, he not only does he have a +7 to his Constitution saving throws,
You're
but he
kidding.
also rolled a natural 20. And
Maybe
so it
I
was
need
a
to start
legendary
using the
27.
digital dice.
You need additional dice too. Just kind of roll higher. And so, um, and so ultimately so describe what it looks like when you kind of jump in and do this thunder wave.
Yeah, so well, as I've been
I think
saying,
this is your
I'm
first
I'm
time
thinking,
casting thunder wave. You've
is it
done
would it really be?
you've
Okay.
done gust before. I don't think you've done thunder wave.
Yeah. Okay. So I land the necromancer Cab over there. Don't know his name yet, but
Yeah.
he
You context clues.
I make eye contact with him. He asks me, "Who are you?" And then you just see this flash. It's the same thing, flash of like blue light kind of,
Mhm.
and then a flail of wind permeating upwards. Did I use that word right? But going upwards.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and then my eyes flash blue, and it's like staticky,
Mhm.
So hair's going up, staticky, and then just a wave of. I'm trying to
Of just
think.
force
I'm trying
energy.
to Yeah, force energy, and like I'm trying to think of like those sci-fi games where you can see like those blue lasers, and like you're jumping over them
Oh
and
yeah,
not
yeah.
get hit by a laser.
I
It's
get
kind
you.
of like that. You see that like rapidly
Perfect.
go off.
Yeah. Kind of extend from you. So,
Yeah.
so while that kind of that blue like force energy pushes out from you, two of the ghouls get immediately sent back and kind of flail around as they're sent back. The force kind of shoots out, and you watch as Cab almost like as the necromancer braces himself in almost like a magical way, like as if like his body kind of like glows with like a kind of a green mist, and it's almost like his body reacts to being pushed, but he almost tethers himself back to the ground and pulls against your push and stays where he is. And he does the same thing as the ghoul number three that didn't move. He begins to get like launched back, but he almost like lassos the ghoul and like anchors him back down so he can keep like a person on you. And but the other two ghouls are kind of are thrown back and receive some damage, and he kind of it takes him a second for him to kind of like readjust his clothing as it was kind of like blown a little bit, and he kind of looks at us, that's an interesting party trick, but you're not the only one that can cast magic around here. So I'll ask again, who are you?
Well, I'm just a little girl by the sea. My name's Marlow. I want to I
Mhm.
want to know what's going on here. Who are you?
And he looks at he kind of like smiles a little bit as he's like, I think you're lost. You're a bit far from the sea. I am doing something here. I'm throwing a family reunions of sorts. And simply you just aren't the person I'm looking for.
Well, I'm sorry to say that doesn't really matter because your business has become my business. So,
Yeah, yeah, continue, continue. I like where this is going.
so
Uh,
either you tell me now or I'm rolling for initiative.
he's like rolling for initiative, no clue what that
Yeah.
means. And so, and he kind of looks and he goes, "I am just a man who is looking for his payment, and simply if whatever bones I have to reanimate to do so, I'm not afraid to do so. And so, unless you know of the man I'm looking for, if you know that he's on his way, frankly." We can rule it out of sorts since you seem so quick to pull your sword out. And he begins to kind of he almost like snaps his finger, and all of the skeletons and the zombies now are like turned from kind of their mindless state now over to your location being, almost epicenter of the tower floor. And he goes, frankly, I outnumber you, and so cleaning up the little bug splatter of you won't be too much of an issue, and adds another member to my army. And as he kind of commands these skeletons and the zombies to kind of start begin closing in on you, you recognize like I mean, you compared it to the Doctor Strange portal. A ring of kind of
Oh yeah.
sparkling magic opens up, and Emerald Radicai steps out onto
Oh my
the
God.
onto the tower onto the tower floor, I guess ceiling or roof here. And I need to pull up my monologue. Okay, and and Emerald says, "That is enough, Cab. Haven't you done enough?" And Cav stops all of a sudden, and the skeletons go away, and he and begins to kind of look and smiles immediately once he sees Emerald has arrived here. And he goes, "Oh, the beast does bear his fangs, and I was beginning to think your pompous ass was glued to your throne." And Emerald kind of closes the portal behind him, and it begins to kind of walk a little closer. And he goes, "What display is this? A desperate attempt at attention? Are you looking for an apology? Haven't I groveled at your feet enough?" And Cab, um, in frustration, kind of begins to kind of walk a little bit towards Emerald, kind of forgetting that you're even here now. Um, he says, "You are insufferable. Even when I stand here harnessing more power than your diplomatic position could ever grant you, you still treat me as your baby brother." And Emerald responds back, "I treat you in the
Oh.
manner in which you present yourself. You are immature. It was a joke. What would mother think about your petty actions?" And you see that this necromancer is now fuming, like all of this kind of I'm trying like the cocky nature in which he was operating before is fading as all of a sudden his temper is getting the better of him. And he's like, "You're where am I? Where am I? I love how I try so hard to paint like a dramatic picture, and then I look over here, I'm like, where am I in my script?" Your apology was nothing but a publicity stunt for our parents. It was always a business and politics with you, and you've glossed over the fact that what you did was unforgivable. What would mother think? I should rip her from the grave, bring her here, and show her the true colors of her perfect Emerald, her genius Emerald, her high achieving Emerald whose achievements were all written in my handwriting. And Emerald kind of immediately kind of almost like turns away and kind of like almost to give the cold shoulder or to show no um gravity around Emerald's temper here. And he goes, "For your tongue to have the strength to threaten others' well earned rest speaks more about your character than mine. You vile monster, desecrating a sacred order so that you could feel something other than self loathing. Pout all you want, but do it away from here, lest the dead dig themselves a deeper grave just to escape your endless stories of victimhood." And at this point, Cab is now like all of the zombies that were now like looking at you are now focused on Emerald, and he begins to almost like with his hands raised, this green mist around his hands begin to push the zombies and everything kind of closer to Emerald. As Emerald, with his cocky and arrogant nature, I mean, pretends. I don't know if he, I don't know, um, as if he's not paying attention to the absolute danger that he's within. Uh, Ignores the undead army around him. Um, and at this point, Cab is like shouting, and almost like tears are streaming from his eyes as he looks. He goes, "You locked me in that room, surrounded by cadavers. I was young, impressionable, willing to do anything to earn the acceptance of my brother, who I adored. Your face was the last one I saw as Tannic closed that door and locked me in. I heard no protest from you as Kel commanded those corpses like puppeteers. I heard you sneering, your laughter. I heard you cough up mother's hard-earned cash to Atriar, who bribed the custodian to skip my room. You left me there all night in a room full of dead bodies, hungry, terrified, sobbing, and when you let me out the next morning, you threatened me to never tell our parents the atrocities that you had performed. I've come to collect all of your fame, all of your glory, all of your power and influence. You are undeserving of it, and it's time the cadavers were turned on you." And all of a sudden, like these zombies begin to kind of to run towards Emerald. And now, I mean, at this point, is there anything that you want to do?
Sheesh. Um, well, I'm gonna be like, he's doing that. Is Tannic, is he bound?
Tannic
Remind
is
me.
bound,
I'm gonna
wrists and ankles.
unbind him. Where
Okay.
did Emerald Radicai? Oh, I can't. Let me see. I just
Hold
did
on.
not move.
No, I need
Found
to
it.
take a look.
Tan. I oh no.
I didn't
Where is
add
he?
him in here. Forgot to add him in here. So give me a second while I take a look. One moment. Here he is. That's not an accurate photo of him, but there he is.
That looks like his face has been chewed off.
It's like a side profile of an orc, and the
Oh,
orc just
oh,
like
I'm sorry.
it looks interesting, to say the
Oh,
least.
I see it.
Yeah.
Okay, I saw something completely
Yeah,
different.
I had to give a second look when
Completely.
it looked like it was like somebody had been like gnawed on or something. Okay.
That's gnarly. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna unbind Tannic while that's going on.
Okay. So while during that whole monologue thing, you had freed Tannic the from the bangs here. Now, I mean, that had happened. Is there anything that you want to do like now?
Um, yeah, Tannic and I are gonna try to sneak away.
What I was having. So I mean, I feel like Cab had kind of gotten right here where they were communicating. And so, I mean, if you want to tell
Okay.
Tannic the game plan, what would you
Yeah, I'm
tell
like,
him?
it's like, hey, Tannic, and we need to go. So that Doctor Strange portal, is it still there?
Imral has closed it
Okay.
with
Like,
his portal ring.
okay. Like, I'm trying to think of two different things.
Mm,
Like, okay, Tannic, you gotta go. And so, um, go towards that staircase. So that's what I'm gonna tell Tannic. I'm
okay.
gonna follow behind him. Um, but I kind of want to destroy his thing that he has going on over there. Oh,
Over
let
here,
me
like
get
with
my.
the glow like altar and everything.
Yeah. So I want
Okay.
to, while we're going, well, I'm gonna wait for Tannic to kind of get to see if he can get anywhere. And
Yeah.
as I'm following a little bit behind, I'm gonna cast Tentacles of the Deep and just use it to pummel,
Smack that
just
freaking
to smack
smack
it.
the
Yeah, to
thing.
try to
Yeah.
destroy it.
So Tannic is begins to run here, so like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It's kind of staying out of sight from Cab here. You're gonna do Tentacles of the Deep. Draw. I mean, go ahead and draw like where you because the tentacle has to appear within how many feet of you?
60 feet.
60 feet. Which I don't know if I'm pulling everything up here. 1 second. I'm talking my little ruler. 60 feet. Hey, you're within range. I mean, 60 feet from the altar here is like really like kind of emerald would be 60 feet from the so you're plenty in range, and so you can go ahead and draw where the hell yeah, there's your little dragon tail. Hey, you're getting have you been practicing with this?
You haven't, but that looked a lot better than what it has been.
That's pretty good. I dig that. And so as you two are running and Toll has been left behind by this ghoul.
Oh, you know he's not.
Um,
He's
as you
been
are
in my
running,
pocket the whole time.
you you summon this big old dragon tail, and it kind of from what I imagine, it would be like it'd summon kind of like mid-air, and then just like land
Yeah.
um on the altar here, cracking just kind of this stone table that had been up on the roof here. And as it kind of like comes down and cracks, of course this tail kind of smashing the book that was on the altar here. Some of the zombies kind of almost like the eye like the light, the undead light behind their eyes kind of like kind of dims out or immediately kind of shuts off, and a few of these bodies here begin to kind of fall down. And I don't. Oh, that's why, because I'm on my. So stuff like we're gonna just kind of go boom, boom. A couple of these bodies just kind of fall back to the ground, kind of resuming their dead state. And immediately the necromancer turns around and sees this giant dragon tail that that has landed on his little sanctum area, and he kind of looks and goes, what's going on? And Tannic is booking it away from where he was, and Emerald looks over and sees that Tannic and Marlow are here, and ultimately he like kind of looks over and he sees Marlow, you and Tana kind of running, and he realizes now that like he didn't almost like he didn't realize that you had been here. He thought that you were still in the city and everything, and so he kind of sees you and is surprised. And Dentith at this point kind of walks around the corner, and he is
Antithesis.
Dentith is like, I'm still here. um, and he's ready to get stuff done. And so as you guys are running, and this kind of breaks, um, he now almost like is so kind of caught off guard by this giant dragon tail, that he begins to kind of like shout and command, and he's trying his best to kind of like regain the lost soldiers that he has, but without the book kind of giving him a sort of power, it's unsuccessful. Now, what is your intentions? Are you just trying to escape the tower at this point?
Yeah, at that point I was trying to escape the tower.
Okay.
Um, Now I want the book though. Do I assume that the book had been destroyed?
You would have
Because I
to
saw that they were like his power waned and that
do an
some of the
arcane
end had
check.
left.
Do an arcane check to see if you would understand if like what's kind of going on here.
Yeah, let's see.
You can digital dice now. I see your screen kind
Oh
of
no,
moving a
I
little
was
bit.
just putting getting my skills up. I feel like I can't do that regardless of how much they hurt me. Okay. Okay. Come on. Come on. Which one? Let me do this one. Come on. Come on. It's a 16.
13. So you would ultimately with the zombies falling, while some of them are still kind of around. It's not necessarily that he is getting the power from the book itself. Like he's a capable sorcerer. He's a capable necromancer. But it's almost like the book was like a sort of repeater for him, where it kind of boosted his power. And so since the book is kind of offline, some of the extra kind of bits that were extending past his natural ability, have decreased. And so while the connection has been severed, it wouldn't necessarily mean that the book is destroyed,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
So, yeah. So I'm gonna notice that the like the ghouls, and I'm gonna recall that, and I'm gonna pivot,
Oh dang. You're gonna run towards the
and I'm
towards the
gonna
the, the altar?
start running. I see dentist. I reach into my pocket
Mhm.
and I chuck Toll, and I'm like, I can't lose you again, and chuck him to dentist.
Even though you have a spell at will to like get him back?
Yeah.
No, I dig it. I dig it. You know what? That means a lot. And
Okay,
Dentith is
where
like
was
running and like
I?
reaching for his sword because he like doesn't know what's going on. All of a sudden, a pseudo dragon is tossed at him, and he kind of like catches it, and he's like doesn't know what to do with it, almost like he's holding a baby. It's like, what do I do? And you begin to run that way, and so almost you are do your 30 feet. Is that
There.
30 feet? Are you joshing me? Is that 30 feet?
I'm
Whatever.
not. I'm not. I promise.
And so
Besides,
Cab is
you're
also
not
going to be running this way, 5, 10, 15, 20. And he's going to almost like you almost like both will like beeline towards the book at the same time, as Imral is now kind of waving over at Tannic to for him to follow. And at this point, I mean, like, if I'm being completely honest, like I think that we're in combat. I think that we're in combat now, which means I
on the
want you to
right
roll
now.
initiative. I want you to roll
Okay.
initiative.
That was an 8. It was a terrible roll. It didn't even roll. It dud.
Come.
So just so you know, I'm not really
No.
happy with my skill
Oh,
on that.
jeez. Okay, one second. I am taking a look here. Okay. And is Toll operating with you or independently?
I feel like he's independently because I chucked him.
Okay. Then you have to roll for initiative for Toll as well.
Okay, let's see. Come on, baby. Let's see. You get any? You do. Okay. 15 for total.
15. Dang. Heck yeah. Okay. So, in that case, then, oh shoot, we start combat. And actually, Toll is going to be up first, which means, what do you want Toll to be doing right now?
Okay, let's see, I think Cole realizes that he's been thrown and he notices dented, and I'm imagining it's like passing a baby who's like, wait, I didn't want to be passed. And so
Yeah. Yeah.
he like sees him and like kind of launches himself away from him.
Okay.
He's like, nope. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
5, 10, he's gonna fly. 15,
Mm.
20, he's gonna land on Tanic. 30, 35, 40,
You've
45,
thrown Toll away, and Toll still just
50.
flies back over to where you're at.
Yeah.
I like it.
And then he's gonna try to sting Cab.
Okay.
We'll see.
Excellent.
We'll see if necromancers are immune to poison.
Yeah.
He's gonna fly, whip around, and try to sting him with his tail.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Oh, that's terrible. I already said it, but he's gonna do it.
No,
I
I
just
regret my
remembered.
actions already.
I just remembered his Constitution saving throw. What that was.
Oh no. Well, I'm just pulling things up here just to make sure. I don't see any sort of immunity to poison. So, what is the details of the sting? It's a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
And what's the
Let's
DC?
go natural one. It's a 12.
All right, 12. Let's see. All right, the Constitution saving throw. You rolled a 19, which means it's a total 26, and the poison does not work. But is there any? I saw that eye roll from the very back of your head. Is there any damage along with the poison, or is it just the poison?
I'm looking. Let's see. Oh, no,
No,
it's
you're.
just the damage.
Uh,
Oh, you're fine. Somehow my video knew you were coming and it turned off automatically. You want a smoothie? Yeah, I'd like a smoothie.
yeah, yeah,
That was my mother.
yeah. Nice, nice. And that was pretty good timing. Like the camera turned
Right?
off
It
while I
just
was
came
done.
out.
Yeah. Okay, so
No, there's
it does
not.
not work
So
for Cab. But is there anything else that you'd like him to do while
no,
during his
I
actions?
mean, no, he's latched himself on.
Okay,
So
perfect. He's on there. He's on there.
he's
All right,
on.
because the next move is Cab's move, and so Cab
Yeah.
is going to um, take a look here, and with the I'm just taking a look. It's been a while since I've seen this stat here. With his dread scythe, almost like while Toll it's on him, he kind of reaches his
Okay.
hand out, and a weapon kind of it emulates within his hand and everything, and he is going to roll to attack here. Does an 8 hit Toll?
I think it does. No, it does not.
Like, yeah. So with this kind of with his weapon, he begins to kind of see if he can like knock Toll off of his body because Toll is like latched on there now, and he misses with the scythe, and is unable to hit Toll. But it distracts him long enough that he's no longer looking for the book. He is now looking at Toll and trying to get rid of Toll. But next here is going to be Tannic, who is still running for the door, but seeing that, I mean, everything is kind of turning on his friends here, or at least as Imral is here, he's going to kind of dash over to this ogre zombie instead, and start attacking the ogre zombie. And so with his javelin. No way did he only get an 8. One second. I'm taking a look here.
Oh, he was bound. He's
But
maybe a little scared.
an ogre zombie's AC is 8. And in this situation, I'm gonna have it hit because I'm the dungeon master and whatever I say goes. So with the that is a total of 13 damage here. And so Panic pulls out. For some reason, he still has his I guess he pulling one of these like if you can take a look like there's like some weapons and there's some like bones on the ground. He
Yeah.
runs by like a pile and grabs like a javelin kind of off of the floor, and with that javelin he then goes for the ogre zombie and stabs here, and so he's going to do 13 damage. Um, and then he's going to go for a second attack here, which is an 18, which hits, which does more damage. He gets a good like solid two stabs in with the javelin, enough for the ogre zombie to not mind Emerald and instead kind of turn towards Tamek, and it is distracted here, which means the next person is gonna be a skeleton. This is where's the
I'll say
skeleton?
I was looking up. I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you forgot me," and I was like, "Oh, there's an arrow," and I looked, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not on that screen either," and then I was like, "I'm not on that one either," and
How
then I
far
didn't
back am
realize.
I? It's like in Baldur's Gate when you're like see all the people starting, it's like +3, +4, +7, plus,
Right.
you're like, no, stop with the enemies.
And then you're like, "Okay, when do I zone out?"
Yeah.
Like,
Can I be on my phone now? The skeleton here. He is going to. I have to resolve all of this stuff real quick before we get to you. He's going to run over to Panic here. 5, 10, 15, and he's going to roll with the short sword. That does not hit. And then we're going to go over to Dentith here, who's going to kind of jump into the action. And he's a veteran. He knows his way around his sword here, and so he's going to run over to the ogre zombie, obviously the biggest dog in the yard, and he is going to attack here with his great sword. And initially, with that first strike, he misses the ogre zombie, but he's going to go with a second strike here, and that one hits. And he's going to do some damage. Whoa. Hey, where is it? 11 damage. Perfect. And then we have Ghoul A is going to run over and kind of get like right here. Ghoul B is going to start running over 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 over to Emerald. Ghoul C is going to come over here though, and 5, 10 is going to attack you with with a claw attack. Now, does an 18 hit you?
it does.
It does
Yes.
hit you.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's see here. It's going to do 5 damage to you as a claw attack, but I also
Okay.
want you to make a Constitution saving throw, and hopefully you have good Constitution.
Mm. 5.
Oh, a 5?
Yeah.
That that is bad because uh,
That one is not
you
worth it.
are you are paralyzed until the end of your next turn, which makes it so unfortunate that you have to wait for so long in the initial order, initiation order, just for you to be paralyzed. But you are currently paralyzed because of the ghoul. So as the ghoul kind of runs up and you're kind of searching the rubble for this book here, you don't see that the ghoul kind of comes up and kind of slashes you on your arm. And as the slash kind of hits, it's almost like a searing pain turns into numbness, and the numbness kind of overwashes your entire body, and you realize all of a sudden like you can't move and you can't balance, and you almost like fall over onto the floor because you're unable to kind of stand up straight, and you are now paralyzed, which means we are going to get to these zombies here. Zombie A is going to um, 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 10, 15, 20, and he is going to 1 second. He's going to do a slam here against Emerald, and that hits with a 4 damage. Zombie, where am I? Zombie B over here 5, 10, 15, 20. Almost like ignoring what's going on here, but instead going for Tanic, Emerald, and Dentith. And then zombie D here. 5, 10, 15, 20. Gonna join the fray, which means it is Emerald's turn. I thought it was gonna be you next, but it was still Emerald. Um, he is going to. Emerald kind of pulls out a rapier out of his off of his belt and everything, and he's going to attack the zombie, and with dang, a natural one, with a natural one, um,
Jeez.
he pulls out the sword and he kind of like slashes, but you can tell this man has never held a sword or has never done anything like this before. Um, and ultimately is unable to actually like do anything. And as he swipes and as he swings, he lets go of the blade, and the blade kind of clatters away from him, and he is unable to. He loses his sword, and which means it is now your turn. What are you looking to do?
I'm paralyzed.
You're paralyzed. Is there anything that you want to do while paralyzed? Anything you want to think about, or any direction you want to look?
I think I'm direction. I'll be looking. I'll initially look at the ghoul because they
Yeah.
struck me, but then I'll be looking at the table to see if I could see the book with my
Roll an
little eyes.
roll an investigation check while you are laying down on the ground. If you want to like see if you can like depict in the rubble to see if you can see any book.
Okay, let's see. 17.
So with that investigation check, you're able to kind of see within the rubble, and you can identify where the book is as kind of wedged like in the rubble and beneath the dragon tail. And you're able to identify where the book is. However, you are still paralyzed.
I'm gonna see it. And then I'm gonna, for my position, can I see what's his bucket? Cab.
I'd say yeah. I mean, like you're laying down, you can see Cat, who was still busy trying to get coal off of him.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. I'm gonna, okay, that's it.
Per- Perfect. Which means it's the ogre zombie's turn here. The ogre zombie is going to do a slam on Tannic. Hit a 22 to hit. I'm pretty sure that hits Tannic. Yes.
Oh gosh.
Which does 15 damage. And Satanic gets hit. All right, which means we're then back on top with Toll. What is Toll looking
Little
to do?
tall. Okay. He's going to scurry underneath Cab's clothes. He's gonna try to find an
Oh,
opening.
really? Underneath cab
Yeah.
close. What's the intention? What are we looking for?
Um,
Just to be a nuisance, or are you looking for something specific?
be a nuisance, but also to look. Well, he's making his way through trying to find anything of value. Um,
Okay.
and then yeah, and then he's gonna bite him.
Okay. Perfect. So roll to attack for a bite, and also do like an investigation um to see if Toll can find anything. Which I guess investigation would be is that a wisdom check, or investigation is a intelligence check. So have Toll do an intelligence check and a roll to attack. See what
Okay.
damage you can do.
Okay, let's see. There's a 19 hit.
19 hits. Dang, go Toll.
Nice. Okay, so that's the first one.
Okay.
He double attacks with
Nice,
the
nice.
he does multi. Um, there's a 13 hit.
13 does not.
Oh, okay. All right. So first one, let me see. Four. That is a 5 piercing damage.
Okay, perfect. 5 damage. I like it. And
And
then
then
what was the
the
intelligence check?
investigation
Oh, the
of the
investigation check,
intelligence.
yeah.
17.
17. As he is crawling underneath the clothes of Cab, biting and scratching as he goes, he is able to find. I mean, of course, like he has a couple of necklaces of bracelets kind of around his arms, as well as a ring, and is able to. I would almost say, just for flavor here, Cole gets a ring from Cab by way of biting the finger off, and
Oh my heck.
is able to get one of the rings that's now kind of like in his mouth ish, and he now has just one of the rings off of Cab, and he kind of like holds his hand, and Cab holds his hand in in pain as he screams because he's missing a finger. If you're okay with that.
Yeah. Did he find any like magical looking one, like ones that shine more that could be like giving him some power?
Nothing on him
Okay.
seems to be no like just like ornamental like jewelry seems to be giving any magical powers.
Okay. That's okay. And that's he'll just be underneath his clothes and stuff doing that.
Perfect. Okay. And which means Cab's gonna go next. He's gonna try to attack Toll because he is in pain and he doesn't like it. He's gonna go again with that dead scythe, that dread scythe,
With Toll
and
literally within his clothes.
sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's with a disadvantage. And we does a 12 hit him?
No.
It does not hit him. So he begins to kind of swipe and he's trying to like almost like push him out of his clothing and everything, and nothing is working. Um, and he does not hit Toll. Now I'm gonna kind of gloss through a little bit of this here. Panic is going to attack. That's because I know this is the boring stuff. You don't really care what other people are doing. Um,
That's
he
all
gets
good
though
to know.
but actually with his javelin he gets a natural 20 on the ogre zombie, which means he
Ooh.
gets a critical damage. That's a total of 24 damage. Dang, Panic is freaking powerful. But he multi-attacks into you like with the air horn. Yeah, you find that, and that is also an attack here. He does another 15 damage. Heck yeah. They're putting the hurt on the ogre zombie. This skeleton here is going to attack Panic um, with a short sword. Does oh dang, that was pretty high. 8 damage to Panic.
Oh gosh. He's about to
The
become one of the undead.
Dented here is going to attack this zombie that's right next to him with his great sword. Doesn't hit. Does hit with the with a 10 here. I'm just doing the fast forward version here. Um, then we have Ghoul A. I kind of move around here over to Tannic with a bite. It does not hit. We have Ghoul B, who comes over to Emerald and is going to attack with a bite that does hit. Ooh, E.
Oh no.
Does 5 damage to Emerald plus the extra two. Yeesh. That's 7 damage. All right, Ghoul C. All right, now we're here to things that might affect you. He's going to do a bite damage to
Mm,
you and
okay.
does a 13 hit you?
No.
Excellent. So as you're kind of on the ground, the ghoul is kind of busy. One with Cab kind of freaking out because there's a dragon underneath him, and two because you're like on the he just doesn't really know what to do. He's kind of just flailing, biting and everything, and misses you ultimately as you are on the ground, even though you're paralyzed. Well, actually, no, you're no longer paralyzed because your turn has ended, and so you're no longer paralyzed, and you're able to kind of dodge him a little bit. Um,
Oh sweet.
Zombie A going to 5, 10, 15, 20. Run over here. Zombie B is over here. 5, 10, 15, 20. Zombie C is going to attack Emerald, and that does not hit. Now I'm starting to roll low. Oh, geez. Zombie D is going to
I
attack
know it's
Dented.
like
Now that I got
But
all of these things going on, and that does hit Dentist. So we're gonna do a slam for 6 damage here, which means Emerald now is going to. So Emerald is actually going to what's the word? What's the word when he disengage? He's going to disengage, which means he can run without doing opportunity attacks here. And he's going to go 30 feet of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He's going to kind of like get behind his friends here away from the things. And so that's going to be his turn. But now, Marlowe, it is your turn after we
all right.
after so long.
Okay, so I can see. Um, ooh, okay. I should have been. How how the ledge. You said it was open. There's sunlight coming in, right? So are we on a
Mhm.
roof?
We are on a roof, yes.
Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna keep that in my mind there. All right. I'm going to. Where's my spells? There they are. I'm going to once again.
So it is your turn now. What are you looking to do on your turn?
I am going to. I really wish I picked Featherfall. I really wish, but regardless, I'm going to
Do you not have
cast.
any sort of feather fall spells?
Dude, I have no spells. You would think I was not a warlock. Well, okay, lies, lies. I have spells.
Yeah.
I was going too heavily into like, oh, what would a sailor kind of
And
like
do you see that's the best
whether
option because realistically, why would a sailor have feather fall?
to, yeah, I don't know, to not fall from the mask? I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I want to cast what's that one? Ask all right, I
Just say it.
want to
Just do it.
I want oh, I don't know. I want to cast I wanted to cast lightning lore
Mhm.
at book, but it but instead of coming towards me, I want to be able to but it's like pulling it off the side of the edge.
Okay, I want to use my spell that brings things closer to me, but instead I wanted to push it away. Don't
Oh,
you have more thunder waves?
I do. All right, I'm gonna well, that's like what, 10 feet for me?
10
All
feet.
right, yeah, I'm gonna do thunder wave.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a 15-foot cube, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, originating around you. Excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. So in that case, then Ghoul C is going to make a Constitution saving throw.
I want you to know that what I hear right now is Joey, or my baby brother, um, say, make it, make it,
Oh.
while breathing heavily because he has a snotty
Exactly.
nose.
It's always with like the mouth breathing.
Yeah. And his little hands are out there.
Yeah. Oh geez, we might have to cut it short. So that is going to be a 15. What is the DC? Is this DC 15 or is it
It's,
14?
I think it's 14.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
So
but
he does
oh,
meet the Constitution saving throw. Let's check to see what Cab does.
hi, buddy.
But believe it or not, guess what Cab doesn't do to survive the thunder wave?
Are you serious?
Yeah. Rolled so poorly on that. Got a 3. And so you sound so surprised. You're like, oh wait, really? He gets launched back 5 feet. Oh, I forgot to totally dish damage on the ghoul from
You
earlier.
totally did, and I forgot to remind you.
And you even said I'm preparing my my rolling because I'm feeling lucky, and you didn't even do it. And so roll some damage for Cab here.
Okay.
Oh, but what does Toll do? Does Toll survive? Toll needs to roll his
Oh,
Constitution.
well, he's attached to him underneath his
Oh, that is
clothes.
true. That is true. Yeah, he
I
gets
feel
pushed,
like
whether he
he
likes
would
it or
be
not.
pushed with him. All right,
And the
two.
book, more importantly, because I know this is what you were aiming for, the book. I'm gonna have to roll for Constitution saving throw for the book. Just kidding.
It, really?
The book will
Okay,
go flying. And
that's
let's see.
a
Let's say
poltergeist.
5, 10. I mean,
Hi,
it
buddy.
lands. I'll have it like go 15 feet because it's not really a body. It's much lighter than that. And the book will kind of go right. Where is my?
Hi, bud.
The book will be kind of like right here. This will be the book. Bing. And as the book gets thrown, Cab is going to like to visibly react as he sees the book kind of launch from the pile, and and he is visibly shook.
Right.
But at this
Sorry, I was
point,
looking for a D8.
no worries, no worries. At this point, are we under too much pressure from the family around us?
I
Do we
think we
need
might
to
be.
do we need to stop?
Oh, I'm, I'm so sorry, Nathan. Like,
No, no, because I have someone scratching at my door as well.
difference is yours
It's
is.
almost it's the same thing. It's the mouth breathing and the Nathan,
Are you
Nathan.
serious?
Just kidding.
Difference is
Just
mine
kidding.
is under 5.
Just kidding. In case she's watching the stream, that's not happening.
Oh, you know she is, and now she's probably about to
Oh,
be like,
true.
"Oh,
You're gonna
hell
start
no."
banging on the
And then
door. Okay, so we are gonna stop right here, even though we're in the midst of this the situation. She's knocking. He's knocking on the door. She heard. We- So even though we're in the midst of this combat, we are going to stop for this week because we need to get back to the people in our house. But you know that's just the nature of squeezing Dungeons and Dragons in at 5:30 in the morning. Uh, we wouldn't be
yeah,
doing it at 5:30 in the morning if we had all the time in the world. So thank you so much for tuning in. Um, of course, like I mentioned at the beginning, these episodes will be published on YouTube the following Friday. You can listen to the audio only version. I apologize that ultimately it's been a little bit spotty when it comes to how it looks on the stream, just because I have less monitor than usual. And so next stream, everything should be back to normal. Really, we'll be away from each other in opposite states. And we'll be good to go. So I really appreciate anyone who tuned in, anyone who was watching, and we'll see you next week. See you later. Bye.